Hello everyone, my name is Charles Perrier. I'm Parkour co-founder and president of the FIG Parkour Commission. I'm practicing parkour since 30 years and I'm teaching parkour here in my club in Paris since 15 years.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Fischer, a big fan of parkour since I first got to know it back in 2008. Since then, I have been practicing and teaching parkour, particularly in my club in and around Zurich. Before going any further, it's important to know what we are talking about today. The title already tells us that the topics are related to parkour and development. But what are those two things by definition? Let's start with the older of the two terms, the development. According to Oxford Languages, develop is defined as grow or cause to grow and become more mature, advanced, or elaborate. Parkour, on the other hand, is a sport which developed in the 1990s and is described by its co-founder Charles Perrier like this. Originating on the streets, parkour can be summed up as the art of getting from one point to another by respecting the key principle, efficiency and fluidity. Parkour was developed as a training method, but over time it has inspired diverse sporting events and action movies, gaining many followers. In FIG events, the parkour area is strewn with a wide variety of blocks, walls and bars designed to mirror the different obstacles found in the urban areas. To overcome them, athletes must make use of a wide range of techniques, such as the cat leap, arm jump, drop jump, and wall run. There are two categories, speedrun and freestyle. In the speedrun event, athletes must overcome obstacles as quickly as possible to reach the finish line in the quickest time. In the freestyle event, athletes make use of the obstacles to show off their style and creativity as their technical performance is judged.
Thank you, Nicolas, for this explanation. This seminar will be divided in two parts. Part 1 will give you an idea on what you need to develop parkour in your club. Part 2 offers you some advices for safe teaching, especially regarding the ongoing pandemic. So, for this first session, let's focus on what you need to develop parkour in your club. You can imagine setting the foundation for parkour in your club like preparing a delicious meal. First of all, you have to know which ingredient you need. Regarding the development of parkour in your club, you definitely should not forget about the knowledge of parkour, pedagogy, administration, and location. Each of these four categories contain different subcategories as shown in the table on your screen.
After knowing the ingredients for our meal, we now need to know about the amount of each ingredient. Practically spoken, you need to check what's already available in your club and what's still missing. Every category with its subcategory has its own importance. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you get as good ingredients as it's possible. To get those, you need to do research, practice, and maybe interact with experts in their fields. Here's a step-by-step list or guide you can follow to get as good as possible results in each of the four categories. First up, we want to inform ourselves how to get the theoretical knowledge. Good way to get theoretical knowledge is by watching tutorials, reading books, visiting education programs, and talking to experts. After that, we need to practice in a safe environment. Very often we are still beginners, so don't only get the knowledge you need, but also experience it in practice. Start as safe as possible, also by choosing your environment. Step number 3, exchange your now made experience with others and get feedback. After gaining the first experience, don't forget to share and exchange it with the other people and learning from them. Always be critical and ask yourself and the others how you could improve. And last but not least, we just need to practice and get those repetitions in. Like in everything, it comes down to practice. And as soon as we feel comfortable, I'm sure we will find new challenges.
Training, methodology and safety are also key points. Provide a safe environment as possible to your athletes. If you have to train outside, make sure that the site is safe, particularly that the surfaces used are not slippery and that the street furniture is well fixed. For your safety and that of your athletes, make sure you have insurance that covers your parkour activity. Respect basics method of training. Teach from simple to complicated. Adapt the load of training to avoid injuries, especially toward children. Always keep in mind that clubs are education centers, not competition halls.
If you want to develop parkour in your club, you can already start by using what's available in your gym or exploit street furniture. In this case, your imagination and creativity will be important teaching tools to provide a variety in your training session.
Parkour is a sport that allows a lot of freedom, so feel free to innovate. You can create your parkour club by choosing your own development axis. Welcome back in the second part of this seminar, which aims to help you develop the discipline of parkour within your club.
Let's start by reminding an important principle. Our health is our greatest value, and so we shall protect it. While we are setting up a teaching program, we are not only responsible for our own health, but for the health of all our members.
In order to offer a safe training, we should think about the following 4 points. Point 1. Structure. Divide your training into warm-up, main part, and cool-down in order to stay safe. Point 2. Basics. Always do your basic training. It allows you to automate certain moves. Point 3. Conditioning. To get the maximum out of your technical training and to prevent you from injury, do your endurance, power, speed and flexibility training seriously. From my personal experience, conditioning represents 70% of my training. Point 4. Methodical principles. Follow the tree, which they are. From light to heavy, from simple to complex, from known to unknown. If you are unsure, you can download the FIG Age Group program or contact your local experts. If you regularly organize outdoor training sessions, make sure you find a location that meets your criteria in terms of pedagogy, but also in terms of safety for your members. It's also important to take into account the weather condition when you organize training outdoors, especially when it's raining and when the ground is wet. Grip to the ground and to surfaces will be greatly reduced. This doesn't exclude the possibility of holding a training under this condition, but these parameters must be taken into account when setting up your session. Carrying a first aid kit during your outdoor training can be extremely useful in the event of injury.
The year 2020 has been strongly impacted by the COVID-19 virus. The sports world had to adapt quickly to this sudden situation. There are many different rules in different countries regarding the practice of sports. Most important is that we stick to the rules and avoid the virus from spreading. Some of the rules regarding trainings are: athletes should wash their hands or disinfect them before and after the training session. A minimum of distance of 1 meter should be kept between the athletes and also between athlete and coaches. The facility must be ventilated during the whole training session. Contact surfaces must be disinfected before each training session. To finish things off, there's a last practical tip from Charles Perrier himself. If the wearing of a mask is required, the coach must significantly reduce the intensity of the training. Indeed, the respiratory capacity is heavily impacted when you're wearing a mask.
Like there are various ways to overcome an obstacle in parkour, there are various ways to develop parkour in your club and to set up a safe teaching program. We wanted to give you some insight and share part of our experience. Feel free to think the way you think suits you best. Thank you for watching this seminar.